All right, let's take a live look at the temperatures. It is extremely cold overnight, and they are falling. What you need to know.
Live from Chicago, this is Fox 32 News at 9.
And thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Scott Schneider.
I'm Dawn Hasbrook. Let's get right to Chief Meteorologist Emily Walls for a first check of our forecast. How cold is it going to get?
We're looking at wind chills tonight that are going to be down to 30 to 40 degrees below zero. And whenever you're talking about temperatures that cold, you can actually see frostbite setting into exposed skin in as little as 10 minutes. So we really have to take this very seriously. Currently, we're starting to see those wind chill temperatures dropping below zero. It feels like 1 below now at O'Hare. 11 degrees below zero is now what it already feels like in Rockford. We have an extreme cold warning that's going into effect at 3 a.m. for all of northeastern Illinois for wind chills as low as 30 to 40 degrees below zero. For those of you in northwest Indiana, you have a cold weather advisory. That too is going into effect at 3 a.m. lasting until 9 a.m. Saturday. And for northeastern Illinois, where I previously just showed that warning, when that expires at noon tomorrow, it will then be replaced with a cold weather advisory through 9 a.m. Saturday. So bottom line here, we have cold weather headlines of some sort for dangerously cold conditions remaining in effect from tonight all the way through Saturday morning. And this is what we're going to be waking up to. Wind chills feeling like 30 to 40 below. We have accumulating snow on the way, too. Those details coming up.
Well, meanwhile, Chicago Public Schools closed tomorrow as that deep freeze she was just talking about moves in. The shutdown, including all extracurricular activities and athletic events. Classes to resume Monday. Other Chicago area schools are making similar moves, some shifting to e-learning as well. To track all of the closures as they roll in, you can go to our website, fox32chicago.com.
ComEd is also preparing for the extreme cold this weekend. The company will have 24-hour staff and generators on standby to help with any power outages.
Well, tonight, hundreds of volunteers are fanning out across Chicago in these freezing temps for a federally required effort to better understand homelessness in our city.
It's called the Point in Time Count, a one-night snapshot used to help guide funding and services. Leslie Moreno is there with a look at the city's efforts.
Starting at 9 tonight, volunteers and organizations from all across Chicago will be braving the freezing temps to help with this year's point-in-time count. This is a federally required count happening on a single January night. It's designed to estimate how many people are experiencing homelessness both in shelters, parks, and encampments. Here on the north side, the night ministry is just one of dozens who are taking part. Volunteers gathered at the church headquarters earlier this evening to not just help with the count, but to also provide snacks, essentials, hygiene kits, and resource cards to people in need. The organization says its participation reflects an ongoing commitment to making sure Chicagoans experiencing homelessness are counted and represented.
What happens earlier in the evening is people who are in shelters get counted first. So we're figuring, because it's a cold night, people will go into shelters. The shelter count happens first in the earlier part of the evening. Then beginning at 10, we go out on the street with our teams and count anyone else who's homeless, who's left out on the street, and we interview them, survey them, and count them. Just compassion for another human being who might be struggling. People who we see wind up homeless for a whole variety of reasons. And so we don't get judgmental about why they are in their situation. We just want to help them in the situation they're in to try to get to a better place.
The data collected tonight will be analyzed in the months ahead. City leaders say the count helps determine what and where resources and funding goes. Mayor Brandon Johnson will also be joining volunteers tonight. The point-in-time count runs from 9 p.m. till 3 a.m. in the morning. We'll have more from Mayor Brandon Johnson on Good Day Chicago starting at 4 a.m. In Chicago's north side, Leslie Moreno, Fox Chicago.
A local pastor and his congregation now looking to rebuild after the ashes of a devastating fire. You can see just how monstrous those flames got consuming their church in Fort Heights. This is a heartbreaking sight for that community. They just celebrated the church's anniversary. Firefighters battled the flames for hours yesterday. The pastor says the nearly 60-year-old house of worship was undergoing renovations with tens of thousands of dollars already spent to restore that building. They're now asking the public for donations to help get them back on their feet.
I said it before, my heart is in my stomach, you know, to see that my building is not here, or I just can't go turn the key any time of the day to walk in to go clean up. I spend a lot of time in this church, times when I wasn't even at home doing nothing, I was here, so to not be able to do that is really hurtful. It's still unbelievable to me right now. Still unbelievable, and I'm looking at it.
The cause is under investigation tonight. If you'd like to learn more about how you can help, head to our website, fox32chicago.com.
A decision will be made tonight on the future of Kingsley Elementary School in Evanston and whether it will close. The school board held public hearings for the past couple of days. Officials say it's due to cost cutting as the district is looking to cut $11 million from the budget. Families and even some students took to the podium to speak about the importance of the school for the community.
I feel bad for my sister because she will not get a chance to be at Kingsley. I want the teachers to be treated fairly. I also wish for the kids who are supposed to go to Kingsley to have good schools.
The school is Title I, meaning they do get funding for students from low-income households. If passed, the closure will be effective July 1st.
Another request by Bally's to extend the temporary gambling license in River North.
They were supposed to open its permanent casino this fall. Brett Pagansky shows you why there are more questions about these new delays.
Bally's was exactly the wrong company to pick, and Halstead in Chicago was exactly the wrong location.
Alderman Brian Hopkins didn't mince words at City Hall when asked about Bally's requesting more time at its temporary River North location.
Tell me the construction is only slightly delayed. I don't know exactly what that means.
Bally's was scheduled to open its $1.7 billion permanent location at Chicago and Halstead this fall. Fox Chicago contacted Bally's about the license extension and the construction delays, but we haven't heard back. Bally's temporary gaming license expires this September, but State Representative Cam Buckner is sponsoring a bill that would potentially extend their gaming license and possibly keep Bally's here in River North until September of next year. We've reported on two other construction delays at the former Chicago Tribune Publishing campus. In December 2024, there was a construction accident in the Chicago River. And in May of last year, the Illinois Gaming Board forced Bally's to stop work after it questioned them for using an unauthorized subcontractor who allegedly had ties to organized crime.
Next 2 days, you will see friends and family.
Bally's opened the temporary location in September 2023 and gave us a tour, but didn't let us record inside. Amit Patel with Bally's told us then the State Gaming Board was testing them to see if they were ready for the public.
We cannot afford to let the city down.
While there's questions about how long the temporary location will be here and when the new location will be open, Alderman Hopkins feels Bally's was the wrong bet.
I don't have a lot of confidence that they will open on time, but they're saying now they think they can, and they're also saying they have additional capital that they're going to infuse, even though they're struggling elsewhere.
Brett Pagansky, Fox Chicago.
Chicago Restaurant Week officially kicks off tonight with its annual First Bites Bash. The celebration brings together dozens of restaurants to preview their special menus for the week. Kindling Steps, Jonathan Sawyer was the host chef for tonight's star-studded party. Guests got to taste a lot of diverse food from just a few of the places that will be featured.
Chicago Restaurant Week is the largest it's ever been in its 19-year history, with over 500 restaurants participating in this multi-course experience. Both lunch and dinner is available, and it's the greatest opportunity you have to get out of your house and explore the great dining scene we have here in Chicagoland area.
The week officially starts tomorrow. You can find all of the participating restaurants at ChicagoRestaurantWeek.com.
Looks good. Local Democratic State Senator Willie Wilson, or rather Willie Preston, is running for a vacant U.S. congressional seat.
But his past is raising some questions about his future. Why he says voters need to hear his side of the controversy that is following him. Next.
Your one-stop shop for
I made one of the biggest mistakes of my life. It happened, it was an isolated incident. It happened one time. I slapped my wife.
Tonight, a Fox Chicago exclusive. Now, we've learned a candidate running for an open Illinois congressional seat has a charge of domestic violence in his background.
Democratic State Senator Willie Preston confirms he choked and slapped his then-girlfriend nearly 16 years ago, but says it should not disqualify him from running for Congress. He and his wife sat down with Fox Chicago's Dane Placco.
I'm Willie Preston, and I was born and raised on the south side of Chicago.
Illinois State Senator Willie Preston is one of 11 Democrats running to fill Robin Kelly's open congressional seat. But he says he's not running away from his past.
I made one of the biggest mistakes of my life. It happened, it was an isolated incident. It happened one time. I slapped my wife.
Preston talked to us with his wife at his side, then his girlfriend, when she called the police on him in 2010.
My mom was a survivor of domestic abuse. I would never allow that to happen to me, you know? And so after—
Which is why you called the police.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
According to a report obtained by Fox Chicago, police responding to a disturbance at the North Riverside Mall found Preston, Bailey, and their 3 young children exiting the mall. Bailey was crying, the officer writing that Preston accused Bailey of being unfaithful and slapped her on the right side of her face with his open left hand. Bailey stated while she was walking, Preston reached out and began to choke her on the back of her neck from behind. Bailey entered Sears to try to remain safe, where Preston entered the doors and slapped her a second time with his right open hand on the left side of her face. Preston was charged with domestic battery, telling police, "I know I put my hands on her, now I gotta pay."
I knew at the moment I did it that I was wrong. And I took accountability immediately behind it.
But that's something that was 16 years ago. Since then, we have come so far with therapy and with counseling, with additional guidance.
I'm grateful for my wife sticking with me. You know, if my wife hadn't stuck with me, I don't know where my life would be right now.
Since that time, the couple have married and had 3 more children. But Preston says he understands raising his political profile also invites scrutiny of his past, which he recently revealed at a meeting of domestic abuse survivors.
I did something I'm not proud of. I slapped my wife. I went to jail. The next day she came and bonded me out. For far too often, men hide behind silence, behind shame. And I just can't stand here in good consciousness and not admit what I have been a part of.
Is something like this potentially disqualifying for a political candidate?
Well, look, if it's disqualifying to some people, I respect that. For me, it's not. I think this election we're not just in a Me Too era, we're in an affordability era. We're in an era where people want authentic politicians.
But this recent campaign commercial featuring an endorsement from Cook County Clerk Monica Gordon may hit the wrong way, given Preston's past.
Hi, I'm Cook County Clerk Monica Gordon. I am proud to be in the ring with Preston for Congress.
To lower property taxes.
Regrets? Oh no. It's the best commercial in this political cycle. And again, it encompasses everything that this campaign stands for. It was authentic because I am the fighter in this congressional campaign.
A fight his wife says she fully supports.
This is something that I am doing willingly because I believe in him. And I know that he's the right man for the job.
This is my partner. And that one moment where I did something that I regretted immediately is not who I am.
Preston has received endorsements from a number of Chicago area political leaders and unions, but it's unclear whether they were aware of the domestic violence charge. Preston says he intends to stay in the race. Dane Placco, Fox Chicago News.
All right, let's check in on this forecast because we need to know all the information. How cold will it get tonight, Emily?
Tonight, we're looking at wind chill temperatures dropping down to 30 to 40 degrees below zero. It's going to be very, very cold, and frostbite is going to be possible on any exposed skin in as little as about 10 minutes. So make sure you're taking precautions, take care of yourselves, don't forget about your pets. Of course, it's going to be very cold for them as well. We have an extreme cold warning for Northeast Illinois remaining in effect from 3 a.m. until noon tomorrow. Then that's going to be replaced with a cold weather advisory lasting all the way until 9 a.m. on Saturday. For those of you in Northwest Indiana, you don't have a warning going into effect, but you do have your cold weather advisory beginning also at 3 a.m. this evening and tonight, and then lasting all the way until 9 a.m. on Saturday for wind chills as low as 15 to 35 degrees below zero. So very dangerous conditions going to be developing overnight. Futurecast wind chill temperatures by 7 a.m. This is what it's going to feel like, 30 to 40 below. And unfortunately, there's really not going to be a lot of improvement through the day. By noon tomorrow, it's still feeling like 25 to 35 degrees below zero. And then it just stays that way throughout the afternoon into the evening hours. And unfortunately, actual air temperatures Friday night are going back down to about 5 to 10 degrees below zero. So it's going to take until Saturday morning for us to really see those wind chills rising above 20 degrees below zero. Futurecast taking us throughout this evening and tonight. Things are quiet tonight. Lake effect going on over toward our east. But for those of you in Northwest Indiana, mainly in northeastern Porter County, parts of LaPorte County, you do have the chance of seeing some of those lake effect snow showers tomorrow. As far as accumulation goes, it doesn't look like this is going to be something that's really crippling portions of Northwest Indiana, but a couple inches certainly going to be possible in LaPorte County. And then going into Saturday, our weekend forecast has changed by quite a bit. Take a look. So we're going to have snow moving in on Saturday, and then another push of snow is going to arrive on Sunday too. So this is going to be a long duration event. As far as accumulations are concerned, we're still a couple days out from this, so we still have time to fine tune the forecast, but several inches of snow does appear possible now for this upcoming weekend. Tonight, 10 below. It's going to feel like 30 to 40 degrees below zero. High temperature tomorrow of 0, 9 degrees on Saturday. We have snow over the weekend, and we could be dealing with some lake enhancement as well. Next week, also staying very cold and below average. Take a look at this photo here. This was taken by Steve on the 20th over at St. Joseph Lighthouse. This is over in southwestern Lower Michigan. Stunning, but come on now, winter in the Great Lakes is not for the faint of heart.
Yeah, we're cold looking at that.
Yes, incredible photo.
All right, well, it's certainly setting up to be a busy offseason for the Bears. We've got to look at what is quite the checklist for upcoming free agency and the plan for the front office.
Sunday.
Former Chicago Bull Derrick Rose set to see his jersey number join other legends up in the rafters of the United Center. The ceremony this Saturday on Derrick Rose night. And now there's a new drink and sweet treat coming out for that night only in his honor. The company, Levy Restaurants, will be serving up a special margarita along with a cake pop.
Nice.
Yeah, look at it. The margarita will be made with reposado tequila and a custom-made rose ice cube. Look at that. The cake pop features chocolate cake shaped, as you can see, like a rose.
A little overdue maybe on that jersey retirement. All right, future bright for the Bears. Offseason figures to be busy. They've got 27 free agents. The roster going to look a little different. Ryan Poles saying he doesn't want to make any rash decisions, though.
I don't think the process changes. You're going to identify the guys that fit what we want in our football team, which Coach hit, and you just keep trying to acquire those players. I think when you see it across the league all the time, you panic and you want to do crazy things that everybody else wants you to do. It leads to some situations that you can't get out of. So we want to stay flexible. We want to stay open-minded. We want to stay committed to building this team the right way, because I think that's the best way to sustain success.
Okay, so here's what the front office faces this offseason. They've got no top 10 pick, unlike the last few years. Of those 27 free agents, the most notable comes out of the secondary. Kevin Byard, Jaquan Brisker, Nashawn Wright, and of course, CJ GJ. What do the Bears do if they can't keep both Byard and Brisker? Here's 670 The Score's Lawrence Holmes.
Oh, it's so rough. Jaquan Brisker, I thought, one, he stayed healthy all year. Two, you look at the impact that he had in playoff games. Kevin Byard, this is one of your guys. Like, this is him buying into Ben Johnson was significant. And him with a guy that's got that type of resume, him being able to buy in and bring other people along on the buy-in, I think is great. I would probably lean Byard, but it would be very close because Jaquan Brisker, if deployed right, and I think he's in the right defense now, that guy can be an absolute menace.
If we're doing wish lists, how about Myles Garrett? That would be mine. Plenty more tonight with Lawrence Holmes. That's on CST, plus Westwood One's Nick Costos. He's going to join us with the best bets for Championship Sunday. That's right after we're done here at 9:30, right here on Fox Chicago. And don't forget, we are your home for the NFC Championship. That's this Sunday, and it is a good one. Rams, Seahawks. That's the third game in that division rivalry. Your pregame starts 30 minutes before kickoff. So we've got that big one. Country music legend Dolly Parton, now 80 years old.
Her birthday just this past Monday. How local fans are celebrating.
Your go-to source for live severe weather.
Trending right now, local fans are celebrating the 80th birthday of country music legend Dolly Parton. The Imagination Library of Will County hosting this birthday bash. The party featuring mini games, this big birthday cake, and prizes.
Nice.
I'd go to that party.
I would too.
Yeah. All right, what party I don't want to subscribe to is the one that we have our way this weekend, tonight and tomorrow. Wind chills 30 to 40 degrees below zero, a high temperature tomorrow of 0, and then we have accumulating snowfall, everybody, over the weekend.
Well, thanks for watching at 9. You can catch us anytime on your smart TV. It's Fox Local. We are on all the streaming platforms. Always start your day with Good Day Chicago. CST straight ahead.
Good night.
Live better, vote more.
All you need